The White House will not release them to the public, but selected members of Congress are being allowed to see the photos of Osama bin Laden's corpse. One lawmaker described the pictures as pretty gruesome. Florida Congressman Tom Rooney is a member of the House Armed Services and Intelligence Committee, and he got a chance to see these pictures just a little while ago. Congressman Rooney, thank you for joining us here from Capitol Hill. First of all, tell us, what did you see?
Well, we saw about 8 to 10 pictures of bin Laden after he had been shot, and also on the boat where they buried him at sea. There was a couple pictures at the beginning where they were juxtaposing his face after he had been shot with an older photo to sort of show comparisons to the nose, ear, eyebrow, cheek, and distinguishing marks. But you didn't really need them. I mean, you could tell just by looking at the picture it was bin Laden. So they were pretty gory, though. I mean, you know, half his head was blown off, and you know, but it was what it was. It's part of our job as oversight on the Intelligence Committee to make sure that the administration is saying all the things that they're saying are true, and you know, I was pretty satisfied with the fact that those pictures did represent what the administration's been saying.
When you saw the comparisons between the old photo of him alive and dead, how did you know? How were you able to tell that that actually was bin Laden?
They show a specific, you know, diagram through digital markings of his nose feature, his mouth, his ears from the side, his eyebrows, cheekbone, and some distinguishing marks he had on his face. You know, but you really didn't need to be any kind of expert without all those comparative photos. When you look at just the next page of photos are just bin Laden after he'd been shot, and you know, you can obviously tell that it's him, aside from the gunshot wound.
Congressman, before you saw these pictures, you said you were leaning against airing them to the public, showing the public. Now seeing these photos, do you think these are the kinds of pictures that the American people should see?
Eventually, I think that, you know, maybe not all of them. Certainly that there's some that are worse than others. When you're looking at them from different angles, you can see a lot more than you probably would want to release for children to be able to look at. But, you know, there are a couple pictures that probably eventually, after there's been a cool down period in the Middle East and our engagement over there, over time, I think it might be appropriate. But right now, I really think that if it would inflame anybody to want to do harm to one of our soldiers over there, I mean, how could you explain that to a soldier's parent that they had been killed because of, you know, an infuriated crowd rushed them after these photos have been released? I mean, that's just something that I don't think would be acceptable at this point.
Were there any kinds of things that you had to go through to make sure that these photos, these images weren't captured? For instance, did you have to put away your BlackBerry, your cell phones? Do they take those kind of measures, precautionary measures, so that nobody can actually take these images away out of that room?
Well, I've been to the CIA building before, and, you know, I know not to even try to bring your cell phone in there before. You know, last time, it's kind of like going through an airport. When you go through there, you have to take out all of your electronic devices, and then, but unlike the airport, you have to leave them at the front desk. So this time when I went in, I just left my phone in my car, and you go into a secure room. There's some CIA officials there that are explaining to you what you're looking at. And there to answer any questions, but they'll give you the pictures were in kind of like plastic covers in a 3-ring binder, and you know, we sat there, myself and another member from the Democratic side of the aisle, sat there, looked through the photographs, asked some questions of the CIA, and then left through out of the secure room and back out through the front door.
And Congressman, do you find it kind of odd? You were in Pakistan recently. You're about 30 miles from where bin Laden was found, in the hideaway, so to speak. 2 weeks ago, you were there as part of a congressional delegation. Did you have any idea that there was anything remotely different going on, or suspect even?
No, but we did get a chance to meet a lot of the people in Peshawar and in Islamabad who are helping and, you know, working with us, and you know, members of our armed services and special forces and the like. that may have been involved. I'm not sure. I probably will never know that, but you know, it was very interesting to get back, and then a couple days later to find out that we were just in that same exact area. But, you know, Pakistan, as I said when I got back, is extremely volatile. We don't really know who's in charge there, whether it's the military or, you know, the prime minister. They have nuclear weapons. They're constantly in distrust of India. They're worried about Afghanistan being too successful. So it's definitely a tinderbox there, and we got to be very careful how we move forward.
All right, Congressman Rooney, thank you so much for your time and your insights. We really appreciate it.